On that faithful day, I had closed from work earlier because I was sick and uneasy, basically feeling unwell. I stood by the roadside at Palawan bus 2 waiting for a taxi that will take me to Poppa City, when I saw someone that blew my whole mind away. Walking straight towards me, was a beautiful young lady of about 25 years old or so. I had never seen a person glow that much. I still can't explain the shine about her. I kept staring, until she was a few feet to where I was standing. Note, I'm a pretty good-looking guy myself, am usually around good-looking women, so beauty was nothing new to me, but why I was so raptured by this lady is what I couldn't explain. She stopped right by my side and said hi. Hi, I managed to reply too, because I became totally confused when she stood by my side. She started waving her hands to stop a bus while all my concentration was on her. I noticed, she was holding a leather bag apart from a smaller bag that was hanging across her shoulder. A taxi stopped soon, close to where we were standing, and we ran to catch up with the car when the driver had insisted we come and secure seats quickly. I entered the bus first and the lady followed. She sat close to me and our journey began. Soon after the driver had began to ask all passengers to pay up in the middle of the ride. I always kept small change with me in case of instances like this. Can you please help me hold this? The beautiful lady asked politely, giving me her leather bag to hold for her, before searching for her money in her small bag I guess. I reluctantly took the leather bag from her. For some unknown reason, the glowing lady made me feel uncomfortable but I didn't know why. I was lost in my thoughts when she suddenly said, "Driver, I will stop at the next bus stop at City Mall." The driver soon stopped at the bus stop and the glowing lady turned to me and said, "Please don't forget to deliver the message." "What message?" I asked in confusion, but before she could reply, the driver became impatient. "Young lady, drop from the ride, we have other passengers to go, don't waste our time," he said. The beautiful lady drooped from the bus and waved at me, and I also waved back, still in confusion. We moved just a few feet from where she dropped when I suddenly remembered something. "Driver, please stop," I said quickly. "If you wanted to drop, and you didn't drop when that girl did, I am not stopping until I get to the next bus stop," the driver said angrily. "She forgot something with me, please stop, let me quickly give it to her," I begged, but the driver never stopped until we got to the next bus stop. When we got to the next bus stop, I angrily got down from the bus, cursing at him. I had thought to myself, what type of problem is this? I should be heading home to rest now only for this lady to come and spoil my plans, I ranted while some people passing by stared at me like someone losing his mind. I started walking back to where the beautiful lady dropped, when a thought suddenly came into my mind. What is in this bag? I had asked myself. I looked around for a secluded place and saw a small shop under a tree. I walked quickly to stand between the store and the tree, to have a little bit of privacy. I checked the leather bag and saw a tied black and red cloth in it. What could be inside this cloth, I wondered. I went ahead to loose the cloth and I almost lost my mind in shock. I saw a huge amount of money in the nylon and a piece of note at the top. I looked at the writing on the note and I saw a phone number and a name written on it in a language I didn't understand, to Tamar. Who is Tamar, I wondered, does the money belong to him? It must be past an hour since the lady was dropped, will I still meet her there? Should I even return this money? My rent is almost due, and I still have to send money to my sick father and my younger ones back home, and we are still in the first week of the month. I am owing the land neighbor Tora money for the groceries I bought at her shop since last week. I still have my girlfriend's graduation coming up and I had promised her a brand new PC to support her business. These were all the thoughts that were going through my mind while I stared at the money greedily. And yes, is said greedily. At the end, the greedy nature, I never knew I had won over my good nature. I walked carefully to the roadside, holding the leather bag tightly like my life depends on it. I took another taxi home. I was in a haste to go into my room when I drooped, but the driver had no change when I gave him money. He wanted to look for change, but I decided to let him go, keep the change. It was nothing, after all. I've got some cash in the bag. What was so small change to me again? Immediately I stepped into my porch. I saw Sarah, my nosy neighbor who never shut up about anything, trimming her garden by the side of the house. "David, you are back? Did you send me for something?" I asked. "Please, I don't have time for your nonsense this evening," I said angrily, struggling to open my door very fast. I just ignored her and entered my room. I kicked off my shoes, and threw my bag to a corner of my apartment. I quickly sat on the bed and brought out the money. It was 12 bundles of PHP pesos notes. I dropped the money on the floor and stared at it for a very long time, thinking of what to do. I then decided to start spending the money after a week, if I didn't see the mysterious lady or no one came for it. I removed all my clothes from my bag and placed the money under my bag before arranging my clothes on top of it. I couldn't prepare anything that evening, so I went out after making sure my door was locked properly to get some noodles from my customer down the street. I was heading towards my room after buying the noodles when I saw something like a shadow running from the front of my door. What could that be? I wondered, scared, walking carefully to the front of my door to see what it was, but to my surprise, I saw nothing. "Maybe I am just hallucinating," I said to myself. I unlocked my door and stepped into my room to meet the shock of my life. I saw my room disorganized. The clothes that I had arranged earlier were all over the place. Even my utensils, that I arranged by the corner of my room before going to work in the morning, were scattered everywhere, and some of it were broken. My shoes all over the place. Everywhere was a complete and utter mess. I rushed to check my bag, and behold, the money was still intact under my bag with no clothes left in the bag. What is happening? How did this happen? The lock was not broken when I came back, and the key was with me. This has never happened before. This were all the thoughts going through my mind until I was startled by a loud knock on my door.